That's going to take too long.
Okay.
One question that works for all of them.
Okay, so this way. Is there an obligation, if we break through this concept of a finite age, that we have to make contribution? And if so, who's going to be the judge of that? Does that pose problems or does that pose opportunities?
Who will be the judge of who gets access to
Yes, who is worthy? Whether it's if it's not a financial issue,
Okay,
taking that out the window,
let me bring
not
it to,
financial.
Great. Let me bring it to Aubrey, since you, even though you've done more dreaming perhaps about this.
I've certainly done more thinking than nearly everybody.
All right.
But
I meant daydreaming, okay?
But yeah, this turned out to be a much easier question than people think, because these therapies are going to pay for themselves so astronomically times over so quickly. Aging is fantastically expensive at the moment. In other words, the absence of these therapies is expensive. 90% or thereabouts of the medical budget of the Western world, including medical research, but also medical budget, is spent on the ill health of old age in one way or another. Not to mention, of course, all of the indirect costs, the fact that people are not contributing wealth to society anymore because they're no longer able-bodied, the fact that their kids are not so productive because they're having to look after their sick parents, all those things add up to the fact that it would be economically suicidal for any country, even a tax-averse country like the USA, not to make sure that these therapies are available to everybody who is old enough to need them. It's going to be like basic education. It's going to be free.
Paul Wolpe.
I see that as another sort of scientific, technological, utopian idea. We don't have anything that's free now, even things that have saved thousands of dollars. The idea that there's a finite amount of human need in terms of health, and so if you solve one thing and free up money, it's now free. We can't cure basic diseases here. We now have Zika and Ebola and MRSA. We have people in Africa dying every day of cholera. I mean, this is a utopian fantasy that we're going to solve a problem, it'll free up all this money, and it'll be free for everybody. It has never happened in human history. And the idea that it's going to happen now seems to me to be deeply unrealistic.
I just gave the example of basic education.
Brian, jump in.
It needs to happen now, by the way. Access to health care is one of the major problems, whether or not we do anything about aging. The lifespan of the richest quartile in the world is 80, and the lifespan of the poorest quartile in the world is 54. So this is a problem that exists today, and it's one we need to focus on solving today, not if we develop some drug down the road.
And it's not about aging. They don't live to 54 because of aging. They live to 54 because of infectious disease.
I agree.
Which we can cure.